it was like immediately he was so curious about the gay shit. Like all of a sudden it was just like, so you want to fuck me, or you want me to fuck you? And I'm like, I let him know I was the top. That's when I told him I was the top. I want to fuck. And he was just like, damn, that shit gonna hurt, and da-da-da-da. And like, he was like opening up to it, but I wasn't really pressuring him. But I could tell that the more questions he asked, the more curious he was getting. And, he would express to me that he had thought about messing with a dude, but never acted on it. So I just like grabbed his booty or whatever. And he was just like, whoa, hold up, bro. Like, hold up. Like, what you mean? Like, you get down with dudes? And like, I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, right. You don't get down with dudes. Like, for real. Like, a lot of, like, y'all don't realize that because I am masculine and I appear straight to the general public, these niggas don't even be thinking that I'm with it. They be thinking I'm a straight dude, right along with them. You know what I'm saying? Or DL maybe, I don't know. But I'm full-fledged, openly bisexual nigga, like, yeah. And so he was just like, all right, y'all, what's up? Another one of that Say So TV. I'm starting to realize I really like doing my videos in my car, like, cause it's just, shit. I get to really hear myself, and my stepson be bouncing off the walls at the crib, and then I'm always busy, so it's like during my lunch break at work is like one of the best times for me to get a video out. Golly. And so, yeah. So today, I want to talk about these 2 times where I turned out a dude, okay? I've turned out plenty of dudes, but I'm doing this one because I have been requested to make this video. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn down my heat. Actually, let's turn that off. Okay, so hopefully y'all can hear me better, but yeah. I was requested to make a video about a time where I turned out somebody because on one of my last videos about domestic violence, I did give a short little story about this time where I flew this dude out and we ended up getting into a fight in my car, and that's what ended up being the end all be all. But I ain't going into detail, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into detail about that one and this other dude. I'm gonna give y'all 2 stories on this one. All right, so I ain't gonna say these niggas' names, but I'm gonna just say thing 1 and thing 2. I'll just put it that way. So thing 1 is gonna be this dude that, actually thing 1 is gonna be the story about old boy that I told y'all about, that I flew out from my home city. And then thing 2 is gonna be about this other dude that I for sure know I turned out, that was really straight, and I caught him on the street. He was trying to sell me some weed or some other shit, you know what I'm saying? And I just diverted that, and I ended up getting his number, and I went there. So I'm just gonna tell you all the stories, all right? So now the first one. With thing 1, y'all, this is kind of fun to talk about these ones, like, shit, because I never thought I was going to be one of them to make one of them videos, but y'all been requesting, and I do see that will benefit y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. But basically the first one, so with thing 1, invited him out. So we had been knowing each other for a while, y'all. Kicking it with the homies from back home. To be honest, I was actually fucking with one of the other homies in that circle of friends. Dark-skinned skinny dude. What's crazy is I was fucking his brother first. That's how I ended up getting around them a lot because I started off fucking with one of the brothers that had a fat ass booty, chocolate dude with a fat ass. I really hope my dude don't be watching these videos because, yeah, this is one I really wouldn't want him to watch, but it is just reminiscent. Ain't nothing previous. I mean, ain't nothing recent that I'm talking about. So this is all like years ago shit. About 3 years ago is about the story I'm telling y'all about right now. So basically I was fucking with, there was these two brothers that's in the hood that always got everybody coming over to the house. They always cool with everybody, just, you know, like the kick it spot in the hood. So I was fucking with one of the brothers at first because the thing is that I never understood about these two niggas is that y'all supposed to be, y'all like openly bisexual, but nobody talks about y'all sexuality. Like everybody in the hood just ignored the fact that these niggas was gay or that they was bisexual. Like nobody ever talked about it. Yet all the hood niggas, all the gangsters is always kicking it with them, always around. You know what I'm saying? So they would tell me stories about how they would turn out this dude and that dude and which dudes was the round that was down or whatever. And basically I was fucking with one of the brothers, the older brother that's closer to my age. And then me and him started kind of bumping heads on like some ego shit. So then I stopped fucking with him and I would always come around a lot. I started just becoming like their friend where I would just come around a lot. We would go out, we would get on party buses together, we would fight together, we would kick it, you know what I'm saying? Like on a regular basis, we became cool. And so the younger brother was the one that always would tell me about niggas and the niggas that he felt like got down and niggas that he did try that went and everything. So he had told me about Thing One, telling me about how one night they was laid up and he was trying to fuck with him, but he didn't want to, or it didn't really go that far, but he was like, you know, I think he like you and all this other shit. I guess dude asked about me a couple times or whatever. But I took it like he just thought I was cool, but bro thought it was something else. Well, one of the last times that I had went and kicked it with them when I was visiting down there, Thing One was over there hanging out, but it was just him. And it was like he knew that I was fucking with the other homie because me and old boy, we stay in the room together while Thing One stays out in the living room. You know what I'm saying? But he just being cool as fuck, like hella gay friendly. Like he ain't had no problem with us doing whatever we was doing. Or he even knew what we was doing. Long story short, that night I didn't smash on the homie. But the homie had been wanting me to smash. He wanted me to take his virginity, but I didn't end up taking his virginity. He ended up going on doing that with somebody else because I wasn't really into the whole I fucked your brother and now you want me to take your virginity thing. Like it's just like kind of weird to me. But they was the kind of brothers that they didn't mind like sharing niggas and shit. So, but I ain't really fuck with that. So I already smashed the older brother. The younger brother wanted my dick, but I ain't really pressed on it. But I basically stayed in the room and slept in there with him just because it was a bed. I didn't want to sleep on the couch. You know what I'm saying? We was all out that night drunk and shit. So y'all know how it go. So anyway, some time goes by and Thing One's on my social media, just always liking everything, watching everything. I'm peeping my story, looking at who's viewing my story. He's viewing my story every day, you know, shit like that. So I was just like, you know what? Like, let me see what's up with this nigga. I was in a fiend for some new booty, you know how it be. And it was just like, I wanted some untouched booty. I didn't want to fuck with one of these gay dudes. That's another thing about me, y'all, that y'all want to know. The reason why I started off making these videos about like DL dudes and shit is because that's all I ever got, y'all. I never fucked with like an openly gay dude before. I've tried them. I've went on dates with them, but I've never gotten in a relationship or gotten serious with a dude that was already openly gay. I'll have a video about that later, but that's just been my experiences. exclusive niggas. I don't like hoes. A lot of gay niggas tend to be like, openly gay dudes tend to be like passed around and loose and shit. And I ain't with none of that. So, straight men or DL men have always been my go-to just because of that factor. But anyway, go ahead, shoot my shot at him. We get to talking, and he's telling me about the situations that he's going through and that he wants to, you know, come out to where I'm at to start a new leaf or whatever. Like, he was trying to turn his life around, get his shit together, and I'm looking at it like, you know what? You can do that. We can see how it go. Even if we don't do nothing, I could at least still, because I still felt like he was like a homie, so it wasn't like if we had to fuck around. But if that was a plus, then that would be cool. But basically, he come out there, and it was like immediately, he was so curious about the gay shit. Like, all of a sudden, it was just like, so you want to fuck me, or you want me to fuck you? And I'm like, you know, I let him know I was the top. You know, that's when I told him I was the top. I want to fuck. And he was just like, damn, that shit gonna hurt. And da-da-da-da. And like, he was like opening up to it, but I wasn't really pressuring him. But I could tell that the more questions he asked, the more curious he was getting. And, you know, he would express to me that he had thought about messing with a dude, but never acted on it. And, you know, shit like this. Also, another reason why I went for this nigga is because he sags his ass off. Like, every time we would be kicking it with the homies, this nigga would just be sagging. His ass would be so juicy. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, fuck. Like, yeah. So anyway, I told him all this too. I told him, he was like, what made you want to holler at me? Like, out of all the homies, like, come on, bro. Like, I know I don't get that vibe and type shit. And I'm just like, bro, you don't get that vibe, but like, you always got your ass out. Like, that's the vibe. Like, what y'all don't understand is that attracts gay niggas or bisexual niggas. Like, so you doing that shit, that turns us on. So it don't matter if you get down or not. And honestly, that's why I said sagging is the biggest hint, because if you not sagging, I've noticed there be some niggas with some fat ass booties, but I wouldn't even know because they won't be sagging. And because they not sagging, I'm not lusting for them. So really, with you sagging, you're putting yourself out there, because if you just pulled your pants up, I wouldn't even have came at you like that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even have tried you. Because I wouldn't have had seen it, and it wouldn't have spiked my fantasy. You know what I'm saying? So, also another dude that, that's a third one. I might have to add that on here. This one Mexican dude I pimped up on at my old job when I used to work for the clinic, and I came around the back to throw out some trash, and this dude was walking just sagging, like, Mexican dude. Like, he was cute, but like, this was like the first and only Mexican dude I've ever fucked with, y'all. Why this nigga was walking around like in the alley, like, you know, sagging and shit. Like, he wasn't like on no bummy looking shit. So I was just like, what the fuck? But then like, he came up to me, he was like, hey bro, like, you know, like, he was asking me something, but he was like slurring his words, and he was real loose. I could tell he was drunk. And so like, I was just like, nah bro, like, you know, I don't know, or something like that. And nigga, I became brave. Sometimes I just do shit on some brave shit where I'll just like take a risk, because, you know, closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't try nothing, you won't get shit. So I just like grabbed his booty or whatever, and he was just like, whoa, hold up bro, like, hold up, like, what you mean, like, you get down with dudes? And like, I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, right, you don't get down with dudes, like, for real. Like, a lot of like, y'all don't realize that because I am masculine and I appear straight to the general public, these niggas don't even be thinking that I'm with it. They be thinking I'm a straight dude right along with them. You know what I'm saying? Or DL maybe, I don't know. But I'm full-fledged, openly bisexual nigga, like, yeah. And so he was just like, he's like, yeah, you don't fuck with dudes? Like, yeah, right. And I was like, yeah, bro. He was like, yeah, right. He was like, prove it then, prove it. And I was like, and it's just me and him in this alley, y'all. And I was just like, what you mean, prove it? He was like, let me see your dick, or let me grab your dick, or something like that. And I was just like, or I don't remember what he did, but basically like we exchanged the social media, and he wanted to link up that night. And like, when we linked up, like, yes, I smashed and everything, but let me just tell y'all what he told me so that y'all can understand why these type of niggas have become the face for DL niggas. Because he was like, I was like, so like, we got to talking after I smashed him or whatever. Which, by the way, I'm smashing him. He crying and shit. Like, that's how you be knowing that these niggas don't be fucking around like that, based on how they react or how they receive the dick. But anyway, we got to talking after that, and he was just like, yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like, yeah, I do be walking around sagging and shit just to see who goes, like, shoot they shot or whatever. Like, I don't be knowing how to go at niggas, so I don't be knowing. I just do what the fuck. Like, he admitted to me that he sags to get niggas' attention. Like, and this nigga got a whole baby mama and everything. Like, I mean, he got to telling me hella shit. So anyway, that's just, I kind of went off sidetrack. That's one dude about a Mexican dude I turned out from my job. But now, let me go back to thing one. So, he comes out, we chopping it up. Like, it took about what, maybe like a week. And then, all of a sudden, he was ready, boy. I'm talking about, I was at work one day and he was just like, yeah, he was like, I'm ready to try that shit. Like, when you get off, like, let's just get into it right when you get off. I don't even want to talk about it because it makes it weird and all this other shit. Let's just do it. And so I was just like, all right, cool. And so, so y'all, I get off work, get to the crib, and so we smoke a blunt and shit. We chopping it up like normal, and then all of a sudden, like, he was just like, I don't remember verbatim, y'all, but I just remember that this nigga, he wanted to suck my dick, and he gave some of the best head. Like, he sucked me up for hours, y'all. I have never been sucked up for hours. Like, I'm talking about suck me up. I bust a nut. He keeps sucking. Like, he became very aggressive about the second time, to the point where I had to be like, hey, like, let's chill out. Like, you chill out. Like, you doing a lot. Like, I'm not, I ain't in the mood right now type shit. And he'd be like, nigga, don't get me started. Like, don't get a nigga started. And then, like, on this gay shit, like, I wasn't even on this gay shit like that. And, like, you done got me started. Don't be trying to back out now. Like, don't be trying to, like, he was making me feel intimidated. Like, damn, like, nigga, what? Like, you really, like, with the shits now, like, out of nowhere. Like, off of one experience, just, I'm trying to tell you, y'all get that one experience on them right, nigga, and they will never forget. They will be bisexual. I'm trying to tell you, like, bro was with it. And so, I think that that's what ended up getting to the fight, because, so just to double back a little bit, because I don't want to be too descriptive, but basically, I took his virginity, his head virginity and his bottom virginity. I started, like, I smashed him, and the first time, it was like, man, like, it was so good. Like, I mean, virgin booty is some of the goodest shit, y'all. That's all I gotta say. And like I said, he sucked me up for hours. The second time, it was like a lot of head as well. He was trying to come on to me, and I had got home from the club or something that night, and I was really just kind of like, I don't know, I feel like he was just coming on a little too strong, and it was just kind of like turning me like a little left, you know what I'm saying? And so I really didn't fuck with him that time. So then, we had a big ass fight. This nigga tried to steal my car. I find him where he was at, get my car back. He tells me how he only do on all that shit and acting all crazy because he liked me and he didn't expect to like me and all this other shit. And so what led up into the fight was, like, he basically was telling me, like, as we was fighting or before we started fighting, was like, basically, like, I got him fucked up because he wasn't even thinking about niggas and dick or nothing like that up until I presented that to him. And then now he be wanting it and don't know how to express it, or basically, like, I done turned him out and he's dealing with, like, PTSD of it or some shit. Like, he was dealing with it, like, in a way where he was battling himself. And, like, I'm just telling y'all this part because we always talk about the fun times that we have with turning these niggas out, but we never really take the time to realize what that can affect them, how that affects them, and also how it's going to affect you being the dude that turns them out. It's a lot of responsibility taking a nigga's virginity, taking anybody's virginity, let alone a nigga that's supposed to be straight, you know what I'm saying? And you take his manhood in a way to them, is how they look at it. Well, some people react differently. Everybody reacts differently to that. I've had niggas ignore me, ghost me for it, for taking a virginity. Like, I've had niggas be on my nuts. I've had niggas, they can all act different. You know what I'm saying? You can't really gauge how they gonna take that. And so I feel like I got attacked because of that. Like, I done got this nigga all up in his head and all up in his confusion. Now he don't know who the fuck he is. And now I'm getting choked over in the fucking seat. And I done had to beat this nigga up and get this nigga up off of me. And then this nigga done got to jail. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's how that circumstance of me turning that nigga out ended up. That was thing one, all right? Now, moving on to thing two. Now, this nigga was like, he's out here in Colorado. He's a hood, like, celebrity. Like, everybody know this nigga. I didn't even know that he was that popular until after I had already smashed him. But basically, I was out at the club, at this gay club with all the homies. And in Denver, the gay club is right next to all the straight clubs. So you come out that motherfucker and there's a whole strip of clubs. Well, a lot of the hustlers and drug dealers would be on the corner by that 7-Eleven, and they be offering y'all all kinds of shit. They know that there's hella clubs right there. Everybody want coke, weed, all kinds of shit. So the nigga basically, we walk to the car. We get in the car. This nigga was like, hey, bro, like, you want to, you want this, you want that type shit. And like, I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. And he walked off, bro. When he walked off, when I saw that nigga's ass, y'all, like, I'm talking about, I was like, damn, that's always it for me, is the booty. Like, the sagging shit gets me every time. Like, real shit. Like, no shade of my game. But that's the reason why I think niggas that sag get down, because every nigga I've tried that sag, they go, nigga, they go, okay? So anyway, and not in the way that bottoms be thinking. Like, y'all always be thinking that these niggas want to fuck y'all just because they fuck bitches. I've literally talked to a DL bottom before and asked him, if you like to fuck bitches, why don't you just fuck niggas? Like, bitches, or why don't you just fuck bitches in the asshole? Like, niggas got, everybody got an asshole if you just want to fuck. He's like, nah, bro, like, I fuck with niggas because they have a dick. Like, that's the whole point of fucking with niggas for they dick. I can get pussy whenever I want. I don't want to fuck a nigga. I want to get fucked by a nigga. Like, I'm like, whoa, okay, got you. But anyway, so this nigga was like trying to sell me some shit. So I was like, nah, I don't need that. But hey, bro, like, can I get your number and I'll see if I need it later or whatever? And so he was like, yeah, cool. So he gave me his number and shit, I went and drop off the homies. I hit that nigga up just to see if he would go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta try. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta try. Like, all different ways. Like, you just gotta try. Because a closed mouth does not get fed. So I was just like, hey, bro. Like, I texted him. I was just like, hey, bro, like, you ever mess with a dude or something? I don't know. I was drunk, so I was brave. I know I just went straight in. I ain't doing that whole, I'm about to be your friend, play your friend for 2 weeks to a month, and then try to shoot my shot later or get you while you drunk one night. That's not the way. If that's your approach, that's cool, but that ain't how I do it, all right? I'm straightforward. I didn't come out the closet to be playing them games. Like, they can play them games with them other DL niggas. I'm not DL. I'm shooting my shot. If you want to turn me down, fine. But if not, then, hey, let's do what it do. So basically, the nigga was just like, nah, he hasn't and shit. But, like, he was still talking to me. So I felt like, all right, well, you tryable then. So I was like, well, shit, you want me to link? Can I come back and scoop you up? Or whatever, like, what you doing the rest of the night? You want to chill type shit? You want to smoke? And he was just like, yeah, we can smoke, bro. Like, that's cool. So, like, he was like, yeah, you can swoop me up. And so I went back and swooped that nigga up. Took that nigga back to my bro's crib. Me and that nigga was in the living room chilling for a minute. And how I started, I was like, hey, bro, like, I was like, you ever let a girl, like, eat your booty before? And he was like, nah. And I was like, well, shit, like, you want to, I was like, you want to try it? Like, you want to see how it feel, whatever? And he was just like, my ass? Like, he was like, nah, bro, not my ass. Like, I'll send you a picture of my dick or something, like, but nah, I ain't trying to play. I don't want to play with my ass and shit. And I was just like, all right, bro, like, and basically, like, shit, we got to, I basically was like, nah, like, I basically acted like I was gonna, like, suck this nigga's dick or whatever. And so I get over there, like, I sit next to him and I get to, like, you know, being a little more comfortable than a nigga really usually would. And, like, he wasn't moving. He wasn't, like, budging. Like, he wasn't, like, getting uncomfortable or, like, trying to leave or nothing. So I was just like, I mean, shit, this nigga already knows what it is with me. He already know I get down. So, like, I was like, fuck it. Like, I just started treating this nigga like he was a regular bottom. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I put my hand on the nigga's thigh or something. He didn't, like, he was just, like, talking to me about how he felt, about, like, how he had been curious about niggas. They always come out talking about how they've been curious. They been curious. It's never, oh, you just turned me out. It's they been curious, and I was just the first nigga to actually be brave enough or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. So, basically, I go to start, like, sucking this nigga up, playing with this nigga dick for, like, maybe, like, even a minute. Because I can't suck dick, y'all. I can't even cap. Like, I can't suck dick. I get to trying to suck some dick and my whole jaw starts locking up. Like, I just cannot suck dick. Like, I be wanting to for my nigga and shit for whoever I'm with because I be trying to please them. But it's like, that shit, it'd be hard for me. I have to, like, yeah. So anyway, I didn't do that shit long. And then I ended up, like, getting this nigga to turn over, like, lift his leg. I got the nigga to turn over and I, like, tried to eat his ass. And he was like, nah, hell nah, bro. Like, nah, bro. Like, he stopped then. He did stop then. And then he was just like, yeah, bro, I'm ready to go or whatever. So I took his ass back. Why the fuck this nigga hit me up, like, the next day or so? I thought I was never going to talk to him again. Why the fuck this nigga hit me up, like, the next day or the day after that and was like, hey, bro, like, let's chill. I'm down to do whatever. And and, like, he was like, I'll be down with it if you just can, like, throw me some change, like, to help my kids out, because I'm really just out here hustling for my kids and shit. And so I was just like, shit, I ain't never been no trick before, nigga, but shit, nigga, for a straight nigga, for some real straight booty, some untouched cakes, I might go ahead and throw a little piece of change, you know what I'm saying? So basically, y'all, I pulled up, picked this nigga up, took him back to a hotel this time. He was drunk as fuck. He gave me a little bit of the drink. I get this nigga in the room, and when I tell y'all, bro, this nigga let loose on me. Like, I'm talking about, like, I had to start it. I did start everything, but this nigga got to throwing it back, calling me daddy and shit. Like, I could tell he hadn't been smashed before, but the nigga was loving it, y'all. Like, he enjoyed the fuck out that. Like, I enjoyed it too. Like, him calling me daddy and shit, and just, he even started orchestrating shit like, let's do 69. Like, let's try 69, bro. Like, I want to do 69 with a nigga, and like, dude, so we did 69 and shit. Like, but the nigga's booty was so fucking good. Like, anyways. So, yeah. Yeah, y'all, I don't know if I'll be able to post this one. Shit, I'm nervous as fuck. Because just even talking like that, if I heard my dude reminiscing or talking about shit like that, I wouldn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope he ain't really watching my shit. But, baby, just know if you are, it ain't nothing but you now. And I don't give a fuck about nobody else. I'm settled down. I'm just giving my content to these niggas, okay? But anyway. After that, buddy was hitting me up all the time, trying to kick it. And, like, I feel like I let him down. I ain't gonna lie, because, like, after that, I really didn't fuck with him like that after that. But it's because I was dealing with some other shit, and I wasn't really, like, you know, that was just fun for me at the moment. I wasn't really trying to be serious, or I didn't know what I was doing. This was a long time ago, you know what I'm saying? So, I just know that he was really, like, trying to fuck with me, and I kind of, like, threw him off to the wayside, you know? But, shit, it's crazy because every time I would go out or like whenever I would kick it with other niggas and shit, he would always be around. That's how I found out that he was hella popular. Like, I'm like, damn, nigga, like, you'd be out in the street at an event downtown or just out kicking it with the homies, and like all of a sudden like this nigga pop up or we going buying some weed from this nigga. And I'm like, damn, like, and the whole time I'm just like, what's up? And he like, what's up, nigga? Yeah, nigga, you ain't hit me up. Like, you know, like the DL code, you know, and don't nobody else know that me and this nigga fucked around, but he'll be like, yeah, nigga, you ain't hit me up in a minute, nigga, you better hit me up type shit. Like, that's how he'll talk to me when he see me. And it's, you know, I'm talking about the nigga that threatened me and shit, sent me messages like, nigga, I'll beat your motherfucking ass next time I see you. You gonna ignore me? Like, he would really act like a bitch. Like, these niggas really, like, you penetrate somebody, I'm trying to tell you, you hit that spot, they get to acting like a bitch too, like, straight up. And so after a while, he blocked me off of Facebook and everything. When I went to go back and hit that nigga up, like, I was blocked on everything. And yeah, so, but I mean, he was cool. He brought me around his family. Like, he invited me over to his people's house, and I went in there and I smoked a blunt with all of them, all of his cousins and his uncles and shit. And I mean, he was cool, you know what I'm saying? But I ended up, you know, moving around or whatever, and we lost touch. But yeah, so that's thing too. And all I gotta say about these is that y'all just gotta shoot y'all shot. Y'all never know. This is the reason why I don't like my relationship around certain straight dudes or even family members that I got that just be sagging and shit. And I'm like, hey, nigga, pull your pants up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand what y'all are doing. Like, y'all really think y'all just, like, just following rappers and shit. No, like, so, yeah. That's my story time on the times that I turned out some niggas. Let me know what y'all think. Comments, subscribe, like, show y'all's relatability to this on when y'all turn somebody out. And yeah, I'm curious to know. So Kelzo say so, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.